All right, so we just got done filming a playthrough of Point Salad from AEG, and you know, let me talk about the production quality really quick. Artwork is just basically clip art, nothing really fancy, but it's definitely functional for the type of game that it is. But the card quality, they're really flexible like that, and they come right back, and they have a linen finish, and they shuffle fantastically. I mean, you go together, they put them up, and it's like literally they go right together. And so I really enjoy that. Chris, you're like the card shark guy. What do you think about
the quality-wise, I was pretty impressed. I thought they would be more flimsy, and they were actually not. And they handled really well. Everything is visible. Like I think you mentioned about the clip art, but it's nice and big. So you can kind of stack, and it actually works out pretty well. Right.
Now here's the interesting thing. This game, I want to talk about the gameplay because, you know, honestly, I didn't really know anything about this game before. AEG sent out press copies for the games that are going to be featured in their Big Game Night event at Gen Con for 2019, and this was one of them. And so I opened it up, I looked at the rules, because I like I said, I didn't know anything about this. And honestly, this is a really cool game because, you know, you have cards that you can draft that are going to allow you to score points. For example, this one here, if I turn it the right way, like this one. It gives you something to shoot for, but you also have the opportunity to flip them over and turn them to something else. And you're drafting cards, and throughout the game, you could develop almost like, there's sort of like a little engine or a little combination of things that you're going to be able to put together with. And if you noticed my, the way that in the playthrough, if you watch it, I had a lot of things that I was able to score points. Multiple cards were able to score off the same veggie type, and you had the same thing going on, some combinations as well.
Right.
You scored actually some big points, and so there were some cards that he was scoring 25 points off of. So big scoring opportunities
out
for
of
some.
Like three, like sets of three of the same type.
Some of them so he was able to, he had a bunch of like tomatoes and stuff like that. So but the interesting thing is over the gameplay, and if you watch the game, if you watch the playthrough, you'll see these drafting the point cards. It's really important because you can do them one of two ways. You're either going to draft them to score points for yourself, or you're going to draft them to keep them away from your opponent.
Yeah, I find myself doing that more near the end of the game, seeing as you were going for quick points, and all the quick points were kind of coming up on your side, and I couldn't let you have everything.
Right. Which you shouldn't.
Yes.
But, you know, so some of the cards are coming up, but the thing is, like, so let's say, for example, this one here, that it's going to, you know, score 2 points for every lettuce, 1 for every onion, but you're going to lose 2 points for every pepper. Maybe you know, my opponent didn't have any peppers in front of him, and I had a bunch of peppers, but there's a reason why I would take this card away from him. He may be sitting on a bunch of lettuce or a bunch of onions. I could take this and I could flip it over and turn it into a pepper that I may have something else that's going to score me points for. So it's useful to, like if you're going to hate draft in this game, if you want to call it, it's not completely a waste of a turn.
No, because you had recently mentioned about like the bonus action of flipping over a point card that may be negative for you that might have boosted somewhere else.
Right.
For you, which is nice.
Right. And the one thing with Point Salad too is this is a game that you have to play completely on the fly. It's really hard for you. You have to play in an adaptive way because you're constantly cycling through point. Scoring opportunities are coming up every single turn. And so what's happening is that every time that you take cards from the veggie market, new scoring opportunities are going to arise. So every time that it's your turn, you have to make a decision. Am I going to draw more veggie cards? Am I going to take the point card? Am I going to, maybe there's certain veggie cards that I need or I can use, but there's a point card up there that my opponent wants. Well, what if I if I take a veggie card from that row, that scoring card is gonna, that point card is gonna flip over and become a veggie card in the market. So there's the way that the cards interact, how they operate from turning over from a point card to a veggie card is pretty interesting, in how you're going to draw those out of the market and for you to be able to score points on your own. And I think that that's the coolest thing about this game.
Right, and I did, as I was playing the game, you, like Dave said, you cannot have plans set in stone. You really can't. And I can see people that play a lot of Euro games having a little bit of trouble with this, but because you have to think on your feet so fast, which is most of the games I play, because sometimes I have a hard time with deep strategy, but this has enough strategy where I think it's a nice balance between the two.
Yeah, I think that this is, this is definitely one for a casual game night. This is almost like a beer and pretzel game.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
This is a family-friendly game. I think you can play this one with the kids. Little smaller kids. They may think that it looks really cute. They may not completely grasp the concept of how all these cards interact because it's constantly changing. But it's something that, like, if you've got teenagers to play, sitting around hanging out, or actually teenagers get this one. They play this at school, play it at lunch. It plays fast enough. If you're a person who works in an environment where you have some time at lunch and you want to play a quick game, Point Salad would be one that you'd want to check out. So actually, I want to recommend this one. This is a really neat filler. In fact, with this box, you could actually take all these cards, and there's a few more that are out here. We took 36 of them out because of the 2-player count. And since the fact that this will play up to 6 players, you could take a stack of cards and put these like in a quiver or a small case, and you can actually take this with you, take multiple games with you, and play this one. So I think it's a lot of fun. So my final thoughts, I really like this one. Like I said, I didn't know anything about it. Kind of surprised me, makes it for one that I'm going to be bringing out and playing. We have a local brew house that, like a tap room, we're going to play this one there. So
for me, I totally agree with Dave, 100%. It's nice and quick. You can pull it out. It's not that hard to play. It's not that easy to keep your toes, keep you on your toes. But once you get it, it takes like 5 minutes, and you can play it all night if you wanted to.
You could. So, anyways, those are our thoughts and impressions on Point Salad. So, thank you guys for watching, and if you want to see the playthrough, make sure you click the link in the video description or one of the little cards that will be at the top of the screen, and we will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.